I do think it appeals to higher and lower readers at the same time. I also think, even though I haven't used this method personally, I mean, I could totally see how you would use it to teach more sophisticated literary techniques to everybody. I think when you're thinking about readers, you kind of assume that the higher end readers can pick up a really higher level text and just understand the complexities of it. And they can to a degree, but when you can then, even for the highest level kid, when you can then do a lower level text in terms of vocabulary, but then reinforce the concepts, it becomes so much clearer and the understandings are just reinforced. So I think it can be a tool that's very useful for higher and lower level readers. My classroom is extremely diverse. When I picked up these kids, we did the first reading test, and we've got kids who the test says are reading at like a 10th grade reading level, kids who the test says are reading at like a 2nd grade reading level, and you're sitting there as the teacher like, how am I going to do this? And so two things typically happen is, number one, you might choose to do independent reading, where you try to put each kid on a different text that's on their level, and so you've got kids reading a lot of different books. And that really, it's great because you hit kids on different levels, but it prevents from a whole class discussion because the texts are so different. The other thing that happens is you try to do a whole class text, and then no matter what you choose, when your disparity is so big, you're leaving someone behind. And there's a disparity between who can participate, who can't. With a text like Wireman, it really kind of gets the best of both worlds, because you're getting a text that can appeal to the high end, that can appeal to the low end. There's things that are going on that are higher level. You mentioned the metafiction and bringing in the comic itself to the content of the comic. And so it just opens up this whole possibility of having a shared discussion while reaching everybody in the classroom. It's just really, convenient, helpful, powerful. It's a pleasure.